Hello and welcome, my dear friends. Welcome to an exciting and interesting unboxing. I've just received this box from the post office, and you will see it contains an interesting lot of vintage fountain pen parts. Before I will open it, let me tell you what I paid for it. So the content of this box, including the shipping cost, was 420 lays, the equivalent of 84.36 euros or 95.82 US dollars. And without further delay, I have here my small little scissors. I will make a cut over here, a cut on this side, another large cut here, and another one over here. I will hope that I can open the box. Let me see, it's like a shoe box, so it should open quite easy. Let me see, let me try to pull it out. It's like this. Sorry about this, my friends. Like this. I think I will make a cut on one side and then on the other side. This will ruin the actual box, but I think I can manage to open it like this. Let's see, one here, my friends. Let's see, 1 2 3 4 5, and I've done it on one side, and I think it's enough. On this side I need to cut it a little bit more, and this is it. Let me share with you the interesting content of this box. So lots of wrapping paper from newspapers. Those are empty. This is empty, and those are the actual parts. You can see a generous lot of parts. What do we have here? Or just wrapping paper. I will put the box away. And now I'm very excited to discover this interesting lot of vintage fountain pens. Let me put them on my desk like this, gently, because you will see it contains very fragile pieces. And let me put them like this, and I will start in this order from this cap right over here, my friends. And yes, it could be a Waterman cap based on the logo that we have over here. A Waterman Ideal, probably from the 1960s. It looks like a cap from a Waterman CF cartridge fill. This is the first item. Let me put it here. The second item, it is a Parker. Just look at this wonderful clip in a shape of an arrow, probably made in England or in Canada. This without its original gold nib, but nevertheless a wonderful piece. It opens like this, and we can see engraved on it Parker. It has this filling mechanism, and a beautiful piece. Let me put it aside. Let me continue with this, which seems to be a pelican. Also missing its original gold nib. This is a piston filler, I think. The piston is stuck, but a wonderful addition to the spare parts of Pelican pens in my collection. Another Parker right over here. Parker made in France. It has a very interesting dark gray pattern, but also it's missing the original nib, and it uses an aromatic filling mechanism. Interesting piece. Let me put this aside. Now I must show you a wonderful, wonderful celluloid. Judging by the way it looks, I think it is a matador. But there's something engraved right over here beneath the cap. Let me see if I can move the cap. Yes, we have right over here something engraved. And very interesting, we have engraved in on this celluloid the word aviator, aviator. It seems to be um, a German maybe from the 1930s, but I'm not so sure. No engravings on it. Unfortunately, it has also some work at the ink window right over here, so probably we have a small crack because someone used this material to hermetically close it. The nib is missing, and we have here a blind cap, so definitely a piston filler. This means that we have a German piece right over here. Some little cracks on the cap, but they are quite common on this type of material. A wonderful, wonderful piece nevertheless. Let me continue now. My friends, what do we have here? We have something engraved on the top of the cap. And let me see if I can read it to you. I think we have, not so sure, maybe a hero. I'm not so sure about this engraving. Let me see what type of pen we have. It pressure feed cap. Whoa, a wonderful, interesting feeder, a transparent feeder. This, I think, a 105 on it. It could be a Russian-made fountain pen or a Chinese-made fountain pen. But look at this wonderful and interesting thing right over here. A very interesting pen. Tell me if you know about this model, my friends. It's missing the nib. I presume it originally had a gold nib. Let me continue now with this one. And this is an Osmia pen, a very interesting pen. Let me zoom on the celluloid for you to see better. So right over here we have Osmia and the logo. The model is 66 with an F nib. The F nib is actually missing. I presume you have a blind cap. Yes, a piston filler with a blind cap. Missing, unfortunately, its original cap, but it is a very, very interesting old pen. Now let me continue. This seems to be a Parker, I think, but no. In fact, it is an Edakoto, French pen, number 87, I think. An interesting pen, a vintage pen. Missing its probably an 18 karat gold nib. Right over here we have another engraving which reads 62. Let me show you to you. No, sorry, 02, not 62. And let me see, I'm curious about its filling mechanism. Yes, it's that button filling type of mechanism. Unfortunately, missing its original gold nib. Now I have a really, really old one, and the brand is Anglo-Amer, probably an Italian pen, a lever filler from the 1920s, missing its gold nib, but an interesting piece. Okay, let me put it aside. Let me continue with another celluloid. and this time this has a nib to it. I'm not so sure if it's its original nib or a replacement nib. Iridium tipped, made in USA, a quite rough feeder, and this is the celluloid body. Nothing engraved on it, so I'm not so sure what brand it is, and I don't know. Probably yes, we have a blind cap here, and again a piston filler, probably a German fountain pen from the 1930s. I'm not so sure. I say it's German based on the piston filling mechanism. Now I have a full body one made in this wonderful celluloid. It is missing the two metallic rings from the cap. Let me see if we have something engraved on it. I don't see. No, nothing engraved on it, but a wonderful celluloid. And again, missing its nib. Probably here we have a button filler, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we have a button filler. And another no-name celluloid pen, probably from the 1930s. Being a button filler, it could be from France or from Germany. Let's say it's from France. Now, based on the way it looks, this looks like a Shepherd lever filler. And in fact, we have a missing clip. Just partially we can see USA. This makes me think of the Shepherd brand. It usually has thermically engraved on the body the word Shepherd, but this time I don't see anything engraved on it, and missing its nib. Okay, let me continue, my dear friends, and I'm moving on to this one. Just look at those three rings. It has an Art Deco aspect to it. Probably this part was replaced during its lifetime. This looks like an Italian pen. Let me see if I can see. Yes, we have something engraved on it. Let me see if I can distinguish the letters. So, let me see. Very difficult. Let's see if I can zoom a little bit more. So definitely the first word is the Burnham and British make. The Burnham British make. So we have a British pen. I'm curious to see. Yes, this is a button filler, but definitely this metallic cap was a replacement cap. Based on the way it looks, I think that this originally was made from the same celluloid material as the body and the cap, or black ebonite ending. So another pen right over here. Now let me continue, my dear friends. And we have another German pen, an Osmia pen. A wonderful pen. Just here, Osmia. Here we have the logo. It has this wonderful, like a guilloche finish to it. A very interesting celluloid. Unfortunately, the cap is cracked over here. I hope you can see, just over here, my friends. It has a very interesting ink window. I don't know if you can see in this lighting, but it has that aspect of a barbed wire. It's missing the original gold nib, and of course it is a piston filler, fitted with a blind cap. A very beautiful pen, unfortunately missing its original gold nib. But not a big problem. I will use it for spare parts. And here, another beautiful pen, and again an Osmia pen, because I've seen I saw engraved on the body Osmia. No number of the model. I love this band over here, and missing it's a gold nib, probably another piston filler, yes, with a blind cap. And a beautiful, beautiful piece, probably another pen from the 1930s. Okay, let me continue. And I have another Parker pen. This is personalized, and it's JB Reed. Nice. Again, the nib is missing, and we have the same filling mechanism. Parker to fill press to ribbed bar at least 5 times. The Parker Pen Company Limited, London, England. So this is made in England. Okay, again missing its nib. Let me continue with this pen, and I think that we have a Kaweco transparent. Let me see what it says. Yes, Kaweco transparent 55G fitted with an M nib, and of course the nib is missing. This is a piston filler, just look at it, and with the plastic ending. I think it's from the 1970s because it doesn't have a corkscrew ending, and also because of the design. Let me continue with this one. It's a multifaceted one, a beautiful, beautiful example, a lever filler, missing its original clip, and also missing its original metallic band at the cap. It is in a wonderful condition. We have something engraved on it, and I'm not so sure on Omas, but I don't think so. Strange, I can't read this. OHGDT, I'm not so sure. And we have a nib. Let me zoom a little bit on it to see what we have written here. This is a Marte, I think, Maurte, I don't know, quality. So quite an obscure pen. And I think we have an AREO, Aereo. I'm not so sure about this pen. Maybe you can tell me in the comments, my friends, what do you think I have there? This is a metallic Waterman, very nice, like the sheen, Paris, France. Very nice. And with an interesting feeder, a modern feeder. Somebody unfortunately took the nib, but very, very high-end Waterman. It is a shame when you find them in the wild, cannibalized, without the original nib. Too bad, because this is an expensive modern fountain pen. This one, we have another Watermans, and I say it's a Watermans because it is engraved on the clip. Judging by the design, I think it's from the late 1940s. Again, missing its gold nib, and a strange one. I don't know what type of a filling mechanism it originally had, but nevertheless an interesting pen with a wonderful design. Let me continue with this one, which is another celluloid we can see something right over here, my friends, engraved on the body. And let me see if I can zoom on it. And we have Olar Reg. Lar Reg. I'm not so sure. This is the feeder, and the nib is inox chrome gold plated, 18 carats, a number 4 nib. This is a strange little pen. And probably a button filler, yes. A pen probably from the 1930s in a wonderful, wonderful celluloid. Let me continue with another Waterman made in France. This has an interesting logo. I'm not so sure if it is from Arabia. It has 2 swords and a triangle at the back and a tree. Very interesting. This also without the nib. Somebody wrote it is an M nib, and probably we had a cartridge filler. I'm not so sure. Being from France and being a Waterman, I think it was originally fitted with an 18 karat gold nib. I have another cap here, and it is also a vintage cap from Waterman, probably from the 1970s. You can see the W on the cap. Not a silver cap, but a very interesting piece nevertheless. Let me continue, my friends. Let me put this one. And I think that this is a Spanish inox chrome. We have actually something written on the bands right over here. No, it is a Waterman made in France. Another Waterman. And another nib missing. Probably we have also a cartridge filler, yes. And it has a cartridge there. Okay. Let me move on. And continue with this one, which is a wonderful, wonderful celluloid. Nothing engraved on it, but oh, sorry, we have some engraving on the actual cap. Let me zoom a little bit. We have Imperial, and here we have Imperial, and here we have Imperial Brogat or a Browse. I'm not so sure. Basically, judging by the design, it definitely looks like a Pelican 100N. Missing its original nib, but fitted with an ink window, and I'm curious to see what type of mechanism it has. A button filler, so not a piston filler, but very strange because we have a button filler with an ink window. This is a new for me. Right here we have a body of a pen or lever filler, and again this is a Waterman's. Here Waterman's made in England, and the W3 on it. Missing its nib, missing its cap. Another one which misses its cap, but not only that, it has also problems right here at the grip section. We have something thermically engraved on the body. Let me see if I can show it to you. Amy. And I think that this is a Romanian pen made in Cluj-Napoca. Again, it's missing its original cap, and the grip section is broken. And interesting enough, we have a steel nib gold plated, but not a Romanian nib, but an East German nib from the Degussa, I think. Let me see if I can show you to you. The Degussa branding here, and iridium point. This is the actual nib, my dear friends. Let me continue, and I'm done to the last three pieces. I have here a barrel from Waterman's, a simple barrel. Let me show you the thermically engraving, the thermal engraving Waterman's. It has something in it, and yes, of course it has, because this is a lever filler part. And let me continue with another body based on the design of it. I think it's from Parker. I recognize this grip section. Yes. And the last part of this lot, it is this wonderful celluloid. We have also an engraving on it. I hope that I can read it to you, my dear friends. Let me see. Let me zoom a little bit and let me see. So, vacuumatic and made, vacuumatic and made. I can't see anything else. So, vacuumatic, a 2 and a 4/6, made, or I believe Canada, a Canadian made pen. I don't know, probably a Parker model. I'm not so sure about it. This is definitely a button filler, and a very nice one. Unfortunately, is missing its original nib. Probably it was fitted originally with a gold nib, and missing its cap. So this was my lot, my friends. The lot of spare parts, the cannibalized lot, I will call it. Again, I paid for what you see on my desk 420 lei, the equivalent of 84.36 euros, or 95.82 US dollars. And I think I've done okay. I'm glad that I could save the parts. Some of them are in a pretty bad condition, and I don't know if I will ever find their original gold nibs to give them another life. But some of them, unfortunately, will be used to revive other pens from my collection. This was the grand unboxing, my friends. I want to wish you to have a wonderful day wherever you are. And God bless you all, my dear friends. Bye bye.